Okay, here's the hot take. The hot take is people hating small talk or refusing to do small talk is a red flag, and you should be careful when people say that. So I posted on Threads. It's raining. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I'm not driving. I'm parked. I posted on Threads, which is Instagram's version of Twitter, in case you don't know. And I said, here's exactly what I said. I said, if you hate small talk, what you're actually saying is, I refuse to do the work of getting to know new people. Something like that. And it was a very controversial post. A lot of people responded to me saying something along the lines of, well, a few things. One answer was, screw you, I don't like small talk, I want to be deep. I don't have time for your small talk, it's a waste of time. That was one common response. Another common response was, Matt, that's ableist. I'm anxious, I'm autistic, I'm neurodivergent. For me, small talk is harder than it is for you. You just don't get it. You need to think about other people's perspectives. That's such a inconsiderate take. That was another common response. And then a third common response was that I'm correct. And like, yeah, dude, common sense. It's like so annoying when people try to immediately go super deep with you. Obviously, you have to like do a little bit of small talk. The other thing was people were disagreeing about the definition of the small talk. So people were telling me like, what's your definition? You have the wrong definition. Small talk is specifically bad conversation, right? So lots of different answers. And in this video, let's briefly go through those and explain why it's a total red flag when someone says stuff like, I refuse to do small talk. So the big one, the main one I want to get to is the thing it's like, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time on small talk. I feel like this is the biggest red flag response. It's like a super big red flag that person is going to be high maintenance. Not that they're like a bad person, but they're going to be a high maintenance person. They're going to be a lot of work as a friend, or even worse, a lot of work in a relationship. And here's why. When someone says, I don't want to waste my time on small talk, I don't want to deal with your vapid, banal bullshit. Banal, that's how you pronounce that word, right? Your boring nonsense. Like, when people say that, it's so judgmental on multiple levels. So, first off, what if the other person is bad at conversation because they're awkward, because they're anxious? Why would you judge them and be like, you're superficial and shallow, screw you? Like, what if they're just anxious? I hope the rain's not too loud. It probably isn't, right? Like, what if they're just socially anxious? Why not help them get into the conversation? Why respond to that with anger? Like, oh man, you're a bad person, Like, why respond to it with anger, right? That's thing number one. And then thing number two is, like, even if it is just a bland conversation, why is your time that valuable that, like, 10 minutes of small talk is something that you hate, that you can't stand? People are using words like excruciating, it's torture, being dragged through a shallow conversation. They're so dramatic, and it's just like, why is it that bad? Like, worst case, if someone spends 10 minutes talking to you about something boring, can't you just kind of appreciate a moment of human connection, even if it's not that great? Just, all right. Like, isn't it just, it's mid. It's not bad. Like, it's mid. People are acting like it's some terrible thing. Isn't it just mid? Isn't small talk mid? So yeah, I feel like the refusing to do small talk because it's a waste of time, because I don't want to deal with that shallow nonsense. To me, that's just a very judgmental take that sort of reveals an egotistical approach to social situations where conversations need to be worth it. People need to justify themselves through the value of their conversation. It feels transactional. If you aren't good enough to talk to, I don't even want to talk to you. It's like, when you unpack it, it kind of feels fake deep or fake smart. It's not like you're so smart and you're so deep that you can't handle small talk. It's actually, you're being a dick, right? And then, so let's get to the thing about defining small talk. So a lot of people seem to define small talk as like bad conversation, but that just seems to me like a clearly wrong definition, and almost maybe a little bit gaslighting, like by misdefining it to make it sound worse than it is. Small talk is just casual conversation, right? You could talk about sports. Some people get really upset about sports talk. I don't know why. But you could talk about sports or books or movies or some kind of local events or news that's not politically related, but just some kind of fun, casual stuff. You could talk about your pets. You could talk about, they're wearing a shirt. You recognize the logo on the shirt. You think of something to say off of that. Like, I'm wearing my Chainsaw Man shirt. Someone's like, bro, I love watching Chainsaw Man. I'm like, hell yeah. What other anime do you watch? It's just, that's small talk. It doesn't have to literally be, hey, how's the weather? But some people on this topic, they just jump to, oh man, I don't want to talk about the weather. Don't try to make me talk about the weather. Another thing, yeah, so the other one that I don't want to spend too much energy on this, I'm learning this is a trap, but the ableist thing, that people accusing me of not getting it because I'm ableist, neurodivergent people have a harder time at small talk. Like, I don't talk about this, I don't want to talk about this, but I am high-functioning autistic, so that argument is obviously incorrect. Like, I'm not unaware of neurodivergence, I am neurodivergent. So, like, I don't talk about that. I'm not using it as an excuse, but like obviously I get it. I've had autistic burnout. I know that feeling very well. It's just that like for me it's the opposite. It's actually because I became a super isolated hermit after COVID. For 5 years I only hung out with my friends once in 5 years in real life. All my friends were online. That's why I realized I wanted to practice small talk, push through some insecurities, work on some anxieties, whatever. And if people need therapy or support to get through it, to learn how to do it, to practice, I support that 1,000,000%. And I acknowledge some people will have a harder time than others. I just believe that most people have the capacity to learn to do some small talk. And I think the hating or refusing small talk is a understandable defense mechanism to avoid anxiety. It's getting really loud in here, by the way. I probably shouldn't go too much longer because now the rain, I don't even know. This might sound rough. But I feel like I'm kind of spitting facts. I'm spitting fire right now, right? So hopefully it's okay audio. Basically, hating small talk is a total red flag. Like, understanding, even if you're autistic or whatever, you can logically understand it. And if you're not, you know, if you're neurotypical, maybe it's a more natural thing. I don't know. Like, either way, logically, it makes sense. Small talk is the beginning of the conversation. Don't define it as bad talk. Just define it as casual talk. It's to build a feeling of safety, to get to a place where you can be more vulnerable. And the big thing is, when you jump into deep stuff too quick, you're not going to be able to get along with people who disagree with you about your core values. But if you start with small talk, you might be able to bridge that gap and make friends with at least some people who you disagree with on some pretty serious stuff. And like, you know, this immature thing of just hating everyone who has a different political orientation than you or whatever, like, it's just not right, you know? You should be able to talk to people. If you're liberal, you should be able to talk to a conservative person or vice versa. Your blood shouldn't be constantly boiling at all times. Like, to me, that's a sign of kind of internet, you know, dysfunction. Like, you're online too much, you're seeing the angriest, most aggressively toxic people on the other side, and then you're kind of associating that with the people you meet in real life. And last point, you're equally likely to have something great happen as to have something terrible happen. So people will fixate on the, oh, if I have small talk with some random people and it turns out they're assholes, I'm just going to get hurt, or they're going to end up, you know, doing something terrible. Like, that's scary, but the other thing is also possible. You could meet the love of your life. You could meet your new best friend. You could meet, you know, someone you're going to collaborate with. So, like, as much as the bad things are possible, it's like rolling a 1 playing Dungeons and Dragons. You could roll a 20. You know, it's like playing poker. You could get 2-7 offsuit, or you could get the pocket aces, right? All right, it's loud as hell. It's loud as hell. I'm going to give up on this video now. Hating small talk is a red flag. Pass it on. I'll see you in the next one.